Will Davenport burst onto the gap scene with a victory in the 2019 Middle Amateur Championship. He co-medaled in stroke play qualifying for the BMW Philadelphia Amateur Championship a year later. Davenport romanced the city of brotherly love while a student in the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania MBA program. He joined Whitemarsh Valley 7 years ago and annually represents the club in the BMW Gap team matches. He may reside in the state of Florida now, but his golf heart still lives right here at Whitemarsh Valley. Let's welcome in Will Davenport.
1, 2, 3.
16th here at Whitemarsh, par 3. Intimidating shot up the hill, 161 yards. What are you looking to do?
Well, first priority is hit the green. I think, missing this green is pretty penal on any side, and it plays really long up the hill and often into the wind. So I'm thinking about making sure I get it over the false front and get it in the middle of the green, and to any pin, I'm trying to stay away from, the side of the green.
Walking up to the green, you told me you wanted to keep the ball below the hole for a very specific purpose. Why is that?
Well, I think this green from back to front is one of the fastest greens on the golf course. So, if you have to cover the false front, that's non-negotiable. But once you're covering that, it's much better to be putting up this green.
So we're on 17, titled Panorama. And obviously from the view we have, spectacular. Par 5 measures 490 yards in the scorecard, so a little short by modern standards. So is this just a grip and rip and hit it down there as far as you can?
It is. And I would say, on a day like today, into the wind, it's a pretty demanding tee shot. Those bunkers really pinch in the fairway, so it requires a straight ball. On a downwind day, a lot of the field can take those bunkers out of play, and this becomes a very gettable hole.
Is this hit driver no matter what?
Any condition, any situation, I'm hitting driver.
180 yards to the hole, to the center of the green. You got to cover the retaining wall, right?
That's right. Yeah, I think there's decent amount of space between the retaining wall and the green, which that really comes into play if I'm coming out of the rough for the bunker, but from the fairway, I'm just thinking middle of the green here.
Pretty straightforward shot?
Absolutely. Long is not a good place to miss, so I'm keeping it front third, front half of the green, even to a back pin.
All right, Will, first fairway, now the green, long look at eagle, and you always want to be below the hole here, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, above the hole, putting above the hole, you'll have some defensive putts, or God forbid, chipping from long is not where you want to be.
Talk to me about the speed of this green. Can you charge this?
You can be pretty aggressive with this putt. Definitely putting pretty significantly up the hill. Of course, you don't want to leave yourself 5 feet on the other side, but this is one that you can give a good run.
Yeah, well, birdie machine, my man. 2 in a row. 4 on this hole. Does that win the hole in match play?
Hopefully it doesn't lose it.
Final hole of the final 3. How great is it? We're at the home of the greatest amateur champion of all time, J. Wood Platt.
Indeed.
Still holds a record 7 amateur titles, so you need to kind of get going here.
Only 7 more to go for me.
All right, bear of a hole, par 4, 466. Looks like 566 from back here on this back tee.
Plays like it as well.
Okay, so you're gonna have to hit, obviously, 2 great shots, but 2 kind of distinct different shots here, right? You're gonna play a little cut off the tee, is that the first one?
Absolutely, yeah, the shape of this fairway certainly demands a cut. It's, an incredibly demanding tee shot, and then I'm gonna try to reverse that and draw it into the green.
Try to play a draw?
Ideally, I prefer to cut the ball, but this hole really calls for a draw into the screen.
But you do have to get it all the way up there.
Absolutely. If it comes up 5 paces short, it's coming up 50 paces short. It's coming all the way back down, so I'm making sure I get it into the green.
Huge green, very wide, and goes back to front again, as we've spoken about.
Absolutely. It's a special green complex, one of my favorites out here, and as you said, extremely wide, pretty high shoulders on both sides, so really you're trying to get it pin high is really the aim, because as we talked about, coming up short here is pretty lethal, and coming up long leaves you with an unpleasant chip, so it's all about distance control. Well, it's a flavorful finish for sure. I mean, 16, you've got to hit a high quality iron shot, 17 you can really get after, and 18 demands 2 high quality shots if you want to finish with par.
All right, well, thanks for your time today, and thanks for starring in the final 3.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, Marty.
Appreciate it.